Thank you for your time tonight, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Yes, sir. I gotta go eat. See you guys.
All right. Did we give you enough time to get out of that tunnel, Mr. Lally? He's still in that tunnel.
You froze a little bit on me.
Oh,
we weren't asking about the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm starting to come out of the.
There you go. Well, as Lally's coming out of the tunnel. All right, we'll give you 1 second. I'm gonna catch up on a comment. Sean Tingley, same feeling. He's pumped for everyone. Lots of big moves can happen after these fights. This main card is a true fan fight card. Cage Titans Championship is always professional. Wins the press conference. Michael Paul there. New year, you're in a good mood. Any chance on a ticket giveaway? Geez, Sean, put me right on the spot, brother.
You didn't have to read the whole thing.
I know, but listen, man. Sean, we're gonna probably do that. I believe the press conference is gonna be Wednesday. Wednesday of fight week. I will get the information out to you soon, and more than likely, as we did last time, we will be doing a ticket giveaway at the press conference. So definitely tune in. I need some backup, Sean, so you can be my muscle if you come to the press conference, because we need some muscle to keep these guys away from each other. We're gonna have obviously Sean Lally and Joe Giannetti. We'll have Mitch Raposo, Justin Valentin. And I'm not quite sure on the third fight that we're going to
cross that bridge.
We're going to cross that bridge.
There's always ample security there.
Yeah, we're going to make sure. So, Sean, we will do a takeaway. Are you out of the tunnel now?
We were asking you if you were out of the tunnel, and then you guys kind of froze up.
All right, he's out of the tunnel now. Good.
Now we're in the clear.
I'm ready to go.
All right, cool. So now we can get to the questions. So, obviously there's been some time off. Since your last fight, you mentioned being a new dad and the 2 daughters getting married. What is it like for Sean for you when you're deciding the time is right to come out and kind of fight? It's like you're like a bear in hibernation. It's like what was it like the mindset of deciding, all right, I'm coming out of this cave and I'm gonna fuck somebody up?
Yeah, so it's like a bear that's in hibernation but's awake and has like a gym in its cave and it's like training still. Because I'm always training, right? I mean, I think this is only my 3rd fight in like 4 years, something like that. So I've had big layoffs in between fights. I think before the Billy Goff fight, I had over a 2-year layoff. And then I didn't fight for a year again. And now this is going to be a year and a half. And to be honest, I mean, besides some, there were some places I could have done better in the Goff fight. Of course, I got out wrestled and all that stuff. But I went in fully prepared for that fight. I was ready to go, and I went to a decision with a really tough kid. So I'm always ready. I'm always training, and I do actually believe I get better in certain areas during these off times where I'm not having to focus on a fight, because at the top of my career, I fought 5 times in a year, right? And that 5th time was the one fight I lost. That was way back for the 170 title against Will Santiago. And now I've been filling the time off, you could call it off, right? Where I'm doing strength training, where I'm doing a ton of pad work and getting a little bit more cerebral with different striking combinations and sequences and drill patterns with clients and in group settings, and then filling that extra time with strength training and recovery and going to practices still, to the point where I'm always in good shape, maybe even in better shape in certain categories that add up to just my lifelong journey as a martial artist, right? I've been doing this stuff. My first fight was when I was 17. So we're talking 15 years later, 16 years later. So it's more of the body of work that I've done since that time that adds up to what I can do come fight night. I don't need to learn how to fight. Of course, I can always build my skills in certain areas and get better, as any martial artist can. But for this camp, it's, of course, working on certain skills, but just getting my conditioning sick, shaking maybe a little rust off, and just being completely prepared to go in there and fight for 5 rounds and fight like I know how to fight, and just get to demonstrate all my years of hard work as a martial artist.
Yeah, man.
The fact that that's what you're looking forward to most about this is that 5-round fight, knowing the wars that you've been in. You've been one of my favorite fighters to watch perform. It's scary stuff and exciting things to look forward to. Can't really say much more about this matchup other than how exciting it is. And with this preparation that you're doing, all these new aspects in life that are motivating you to come here and perform and continue to do it against the top tier talent. It's just my blood is absolutely boiling for this one.
I got to have some fun with you, Lally. You know, I listened to your interview with Domenico, and my favorite line from it is that I might look better than him at the beach. Speaking of your how you match up with Joe Jean.
Favorite line too. Apparently, she watches all my interviews. I didn't know that, but she told me that was her favorite line that I said.
What was it? What was that? I might look better than him at the beach. Was that how it was?
Well, you know, everyone sees a picture of JoJo and I side by side, and they are like, "You're gonna snap that fucking kid in half." And like, you know, as much as I like to think that that's what will happen the night of the fight, I know the sport, and I know as well as anyone else that muscles don't win fights, and that's not always the sign of the better fighter. But what I did say is, there's no doubt if JoJo and I hit the beach that I look better. That's
I loved it. I love the candor. You know, because it is, you're obviously, you're absolutely right. You know, when people look side by side, and you know, you could say that about a lot of fighters over the, you know, not just in this particular matchup. You know, it's like, how do I tell somebody that this guy can beat this guy in a fight? And it's usually a string bean guy and a
how do I sell this, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just kind of funny. It's just the outside perspective. I mean, my hope is that I do smash him in half. That's the plan, of course. But I know.
Let me ask you, you're kind of notorious at Cage Titans for those quick finishes and those quick, like taking these guys and chopping these guys' heads off. What do you think if this fight doesn't go that quick, what we can expect from you going a full 5 rounds?
I don't want it or need it to go that way. It's funny because I was talking to a family member recently and kind of saying, I actually would love to fight a 5-round fight, an exciting 5-round fight, but I've never had the opportunity to fight a full 5 rounds. And my family member is like, well, if you get a chance to win earlier, won't you do it? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to take the opportunity, but this is a different type of fight where I don't think I've gotten to display the true martial artist that I've become since those early fights where I just went in and went as hard as I could. And almost like the mentality back then was like, I have to take this dude out before they take me out. And almost like in a rushed sense at times where it put me in danger. Now I'm at a point where I don't necessarily want to lose that, because that's a powerful weapon to have and to use when the opportunity comes up. But I'm excited to get in there and be dialed in and kind of create and not force opportunities. And I believe in my conditioning. I mean, that's been a high focus. So I'm ready to push the pace from the beginning, and I'm ready to push the pace for 5 rounds. That was the other thing. Back in the day, I was like, at times, I didn't even know if I could fight 3 rounds. I was like, fuck, if I don't get this guy out in the first round, I'm going to be gassed. So it's a really cool place to feel confident in the fact that I can go in there and I can still push the pace, but I can also last as long as I need to last to get the job done. And I almost like the idea of like, let's see who's going to break first, rather than just, I know I can knock any man out, but let's see who's going to break. That sounds more exciting to me and more of a challenge.
I'm a fan of the quick finishes, and I've been a fan of the long drawn out wars, and I couldn't care which it is. I'm excited to see how this plays out regardless. But I want to definitely mention the hat that you're wearing right there. Is that Operation OVN right there? Operation Vet Now?
Operation Vet Now. They're one of my biggest sponsors. I'm an ambassador athlete for Operation Vet Now. They've been a strong presence in the veteran community, and basically just raising awareness and also kind of giving opportunities to veterans to engage in different types of physical exercise, and physical challenges, right? Their athletes range from MMA fighters, myself being one, Connor Matthews is one, Liz Carmouche from Bellator, she's on there. And then they have a bunch of motocross guys and shooters and rodeo riders and shit like that. Just a bunch of men and women from the military that have found different, unique ways to cope and deal with PTSD, anxiety, stress, depression, all those things. And they've been a great tool for me, and I'm happy to continue to spread their message.
The message, I love the help that it does bring to everybody in the military community, because it's something I know that you and Connor Matthews have spoken a lot about, and they've been involved in Cage Titans for a number of years now as well. So just definitely wanted to give the platform to speak out on that, because I think it's always important to take care of our veterans.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Well, Lally, before I let you go on your long ride home, I got a very important question. I'm going to put you on the spot. For those who don't know, I was a big hockey player prior to training MMA, and I've loved every minute of my fight career. I loved every minute of Cage Titans, 63 events, over 13, 14 years. But one of my favorite moments of my life was the last time you fought Patrice Bergeron, and some of the Bruins players came to Cage Titans. And I got Nick showing some pictures right now. And this is my prized possession. I have it right back here in the office. My Cage Titan autographed by Bergeron and a couple of the boys you brought. Being a hockey player, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I got to put you on the spot. Any chance you might get any special guests coming this weekend or on the 27th?
Yeah, I've been able to form a pretty cool relationship with some of the guys, and training a few of them in the off season, and they look damn good on the ice and been putting the work. And a couple of the guys might be showing up. And if you do, it's a pretty cool opportunity for me to fight in front of them, right? Like that they're coming to watch us fight at Cage Titans. It's an honor, really. So I think a few might be in the house. Keep an eye out.
We'll keep an eye. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out. Like I said, hockey was my first love and my first sport, and it was a driving passion of mine. So that was probably one of the best moments, I got to say, of my life. Seeing
it was amazing to have those guys and athletes of that caliber and just men of that caliber come into the cage after a fight and my hand and stuff. That was a pretty cool moment for me too.
Yeah, man, it was, and that was when Bergeron had the elbow surgery, and there was like spotted at Cage Titans.
Yeah, Boston Globe was pumping it up the next day.
Yeah. I guess I don't want to leave on that note, but I kind of want to mention, like, you've been doing a lot of great things over at Title Boxing. I think I saw Jalen Brown training with you. As you kind of develop, I think it's important for a lot of fighters, and I'm trying to collect my thoughts of where I'm going with it, but like fighters are so focused on their fight career, they never think of that next step. And you're a fighter who's always been focused on your fight career, but you've always had other things going on with your personal training business. And I love how you've been able to transition, using the fight world to kind of catapult your other career. What kind of advice would you have for fighters that are kind of in a similar situation like you?
Yeah, so I would just say to look at it like a business, and that's kind of what I did from the beginning. That was how my career started. I kind of started my personal training career and my fight career at the same time. Like a lot of people were thought that I used to get clients because I was a fighter, but I had clients before I was a fighter, and it was, they go so well together because you're learning your craft, you're learning your skill, you're learning how to recover from injuries, you're learning strength training, you're getting coached by hopefully a lot of different great coaches. And then you get to share that information with other people. And then when you share that information with other people, it helps you retain that information. And it just ties in really well together. And it's a great way to support your fight career. and vice versa, right? So you can train clients to support your fight career. And then in turn, if you have a lot of clients or you're well known at a particular gym, you're going to end up selling a lot of tickets out of that gym. And then your clients and those that take your class are going to buy your t-shirts and want to support you. And yeah, it's just been like, the other thing I personally did was I've taken long breaks, right? And like I said, I have to focus a little bit more in one area or another at times to kind of build that up. And that's what I've done. And, you know, it's gotten me to a pretty cool position where like the original plan was to fight for the UFC. And, you know, that's not my main interest anymore. But from all that work that I was putting in, trying to get to the UFC, but at the same time, focusing on something else, when the opportunity to get to the UFC didn't work out, I had something that was even better that I just didn't see right in front of me at first. And then I've gotten to build that up to the point, you know, where I have the awesome title boxing club. We have 12 employees. We have almost 400 members. It's a good size operation, and I get to work with some really high end clients and, coach an awesome team and just build a really cool community. And I'm blessed. I get to do what I love every day, you know, and it took a really long time and a lot of hard work to get into that position, but I'm still tired. I'm still stressed. I still, you know, have problems, but like I have good problems now. That's the way I think about it.
Well, when you get tired and stressed and frustrated, guess what? You can always have a home at Cage Sides where you get to punch a motherfucker in the face.
Right.
Legally. Well, man, I love that advice.
Do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate the advice because, like, you know, honestly, I think I love having this platform to kind of talk to fighters and also let you share your stories because, you know, I hear fighters all the time. Well, I'm all in. I'm quitting my job. I'm throwing all these eggs in this basket. And it's just like, whoa, man, like, listen, you can still love this sport and put everything into it. But, like, you know, you can also kind of keep other things and irons in the fire. And then not only that, like, you know, use this to platform your other avenues in life that you take, which you've so nicely done. So I think it's a great to hear a story from you so other fighters can hear those stories and maybe, you know, kind of formulate how it can apply to their lives.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, any last shout outs before we let you run? In January 27th, we look forward to seeing you in that main event.
Yeah. So, just shout out, you know, I shouted out OVN already. I'm just going to shout out my family for supporting me. You know, it's a little different now when you got a family like I do now. So, you know, my wife's got my back. She's helping me out. My family's got my back. And then, you know, everyone that helps me keep my business running, they've all stepped it up, like, and my coaches and my teammates, like that's who I want to shout out right now. You know, I'll get the other sponsors out there later, but everybody that's just helping make this possible, because it does take a team to make great shit happen.
There you go. Well, for Andy, I got nothing more for you. I cannot wait.
Peace.
All right. I wish I could hit fast forward to January 27th right now.
I know, dude. I'm so excited for this fight. Drive safe, son, Lally.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Andy, I'll bring a kill shirt. I'll bring the kill shirt for you.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a couple of kill shirts. Could always use more, man. Those are the best.
All right, man.
Thank you.
I love scaring people with it. They're like, "What is kill? Why do you just say kill?"
I wish
and then
next time we had Lally on.
You know what's funny? My 8-year-old daughter draws kill on things with the heart, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for a call from school of like, "Hey, your kid's been drawing kill with a heart," and I'm like, "Listen, teacher, it has a positive meaning." Like,
let's hold on.
Oh, it's one of my favorites because like it turns heads and like, why does your shirt say kill? And then I love explaining it.
I thought you were already gone, so I was going to explain it. But Nick, let's bring him up full screen and please explain
the kill,
because I think when people hear it from your mouth and what it really means, it will have a bigger impact.
Okay, so first of all, kill. It has a heart. Originally, my first shirt just said kill. It had a clover. The clover one is the OG one. That was more of a tribute to my father, who passed away about 4 years ago and was always a really big part of martial arts with me. So that was the original message, right? Of like, just like kind of me connecting with him. Then I needed a way to soften it so I could sell it to the market, right? So we put the heart in, but then I really thought about it. I'm like, what does this message mean to me, right? And what it means is killing anything that's negative in your life, anything that holds you back from being what you want to be or being who you want to be, being true to your values. Because I know for a long time I struggled with drugs and alcohol, and it didn't allow me to be the person that I wanted to be or be the person that I knew deep down that I could be. So I had to kill a lot of negative things in my life. And after killing those things, I had to figure out a way to fill my spirit back up. And that was with positive things. So that's what it's about. It's about killing the negative, filling your life with positive, and just exploring different things that fill you up physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's the short of it. And I want to kill my opponent.
Boom. Nick, clip that. Now we can really let you go, Sean. Get into the house to your beautiful kids and your wife. Thank you so much.
Oh man.
Later, guys. Peace.
Take it easy.
There you
Yes,
go. Honestly,
I
was
will
gonna bring
rep
that.
Kill forever. That's one of my favorites, and like it's my favorite to just wear in general. It's my favorite to get someone looking funny, and it's been more than one occasion.